Hey podcast lovers, are you ready for something special this Black Friday? Imagine getting more from the shows you love, like bonus content, ad-free episodes, and exclusive perks, all from your favourite Irish podcasts on HeadStuff Plus. We're giving you 15% off an annual membership with the code HS Black Friday. That's right, unlock a full year of premium content for less. Whether you're a fan of the delicious Garran Noon, can't stop laughing out loud with Keep It Tight, or can't get the young hot guys out of your mind, there's so much to explore. Go to headstuffpodcast.com, sign up with the code HS Black Friday, and treat yourself to a whole year of amazing content.
The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid is about performance, not just on the road, but in life, where the only speed that matters is how fast you can slow down. Performance where it matters the most. Visit volvocars.com/US.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network.
Lovely stuff.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Well, hello there. You're very welcome to another very special episode of
The Lovely Show. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, very good.
Oh, you pup.
Today we're talking about all things Christmas related. Santa and his big sack is getting ready to...
Oh, he's coming.
He's going to come.
Town.
He's coming to town. He's going to slide his little body down your wet chimney.
With his big sack.
Today we're talking about all things Christmas and Christmas related.
Because it's Christmas season, Kevin.
Because we had the spooky season.
We had the spooky tree, and now we have the Christmas tree.
The spooky tree has been taken down. All the little goblins and ghoulies have been shaken off them. And we've gone out with a big axe to cut down the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Just put up the Christmas tree up in the good room. And we're donning it with baubles. Mm-hmm. And we're stuffing our presents underneath that tree. Getting ready for old St. Nick.
Yeah.
To celebrate the birth of our Lord, Christ.
Do you
ever think anyone ever called him like...
Christ. Jesus Christ. Here you are now. Looking shocking well.
I'd love to know Christ just to say his name like that.
Christ. Yeah.
Here he is now. Jesus Christ.
People at home call me Staff. That's my nickname at
Staff.
home. Do you have a nickname at home?
Staph infection.
Staph infection. There you go. That's me.
That'll be a good name if you ever had a show on News Talk.
Staph
infection. And like
staff only, I like, just because it's a thing.
Staff only.
Anytime I see it in a show, I'm like, oh, there's my VIP section, huh?
Because all comedians have to come up with names for their shows. And frequently we don't have themes.
Justine
so
time.
A lot of the times we rely on puns of our names.
Yeah.
Neil Delamere is the king of them.
Great man for a pun.
Like Neil Delamere's list of shows here, I wonder if we can get it up. I remember one year he had Creme Delamere.
Any Edinburgh show, really, I'd say 90% are a pun. Title of their show.
Yeah, 100%.
And it stands out. You're like, that's caught my eye now.
But yeah, if you've got a name that you can
pun,
you're away in a hack.
You're away with it.
You're away in a hack, like.
Yeah.
Now you can do nothing with McGahern.
Kevin.
I mean, you could say Cav and a laugh.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, Neil's show is called Achilles Neil. So he's going with Neil as well as Delamere. But anyway, that's off topic.
Well,
there.
Thinking of Elf on the Shelf there, actually. Do you have to do that now in your house? Your kids into that? I don't think
my children would respect. They don't respect me as a 5'11" man. They're not going to respect a little fucking teddy sitting on the shelf.
I'd love to create one.
I do think I rang Santi before. Mm-hmm. We had a great conversation.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'd like to do a sketch like where the dad is like, the child won't eat their chicken nuggets and it's like, oh, I'm going to ring Santi now. Mm-hmm. I'll do it now. And you take out the phone and you go, boop, 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 boop. And it just cuts to like Santi actually answers it and he goes, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You're like, sorry, hello, who's this? It's Santa Claus, you rang me. What do you want? I'm like, this is literally the busiest time of the year. Like, oh, just like Francis won't eat his chicken nuggets. And what the fuck do you want me to do about it? And just Santi just eats the bollocks of the dad.
You parents nowadays coming to me to sort your problems.
I've lived through the Black Death.
Yeah.
I had to wade through bodies delivering presents.
Do you know how long it takes to oil this beard every morning? Do you know how long that takes? And you're calling me up
You're
because
fucking
the
annoying me
nuggets
with
have
this
been left on the
shit.
plate. Well, maybe it's your cooking that's the problem. Do you ever think of that?
I don't give a shit what he does.
No, never blame yourselves. Look in the mirror. All
Yeah.
right. Maybe if you had sausages another day.
I think Santi needs to fucking sort these young parents out.
I think they need to sort themselves out and stop looking to Santa for the answers. It's interesting you say Santi. I'd be a Santa.
That's because you're too young. I'm a classic 80s, 90s kid.
I don't know. There's different
Santi Claus.
different houses that I'd even in school there'd be kids that call him Santi, and I would have thought, oh, you have a bit of a notion, have you?
Well, I've noticed sometimes in films, in American films, older people will say Santa Claus. Like really old people who look like
'cause,
prospectors.
They had false teeth and couldn't actually enunciate, Kevin. That's a real issue.
What you're trying to
for some
insinuate.
people.
What's your favourite thing to do at Christmas?
As a family, we like to sit down and watch the Soupy Norman Christmas special.
Really?
Yeah. And also we'll always find an Irish film to watch, like Fatal Deviation will get watched, Taffin. We like to find a new one. Like
So
we
nothing depressing like Magdalene Laundries or When the Shakes the Barley.
No. It's Christmas, Kevin.
You want to keep it light.
Keep it light.
Yeah, you know the way when you're struggling to pick something that 9 people will enjoy.
Yeah.
We'd usually go for Unbelievables, either the mother or the video.
Yeah.
And everyone loves it.
Oh, it's a crowd
Fucking
pleaser.
everyone loves it. Like.
Absolute treat. I remember when the kids brought that into school when we were like 5 years old and the teacher didn't know what it was. I was like, yeah, put that on. And then she left the room and came back and he was like, that's my fucking pint. And she's like, oh God. And then she was turning it off. Best film we've seen because normally it was the farm safety video. So this was a nice little change for the brief 10 minutes it was on
palate
screen.
cleanser.
Yeah, which is far less traumatizing. This is the thing. I remember going to the cinema when I was 12. And I wanted to see Austin Powers. It was for my birthday to go see Goldmember. I was so excited. They said because I wasn't 15 I couldn't go see it. So I had to go and see Eight-Legged Freaks. I was terrified of spiders and that film
He
was
would have
horrific.
been much less traumatized.
Completely.
By
I just
a
wanted to
silly
have
comedy.
a laugh. Have you traditions?
Not really. Well, we do the Wren sometimes.
That's a specific Cavan thing, right?
Is it? So I don't think so. I think it's bigger than Cavan. So the Wren it's St. Stephen's Day, where like I'm too old for it now, but we used to you dress up. Traditionally, boys would dress up as girls and girls would dress up as boys. Again,
Doing
we are
wonderful
very
work,
very
yeah.
ahead of the curve
Yeah,
here
very
in Cavan.
progressive.
So you dress up, or else you might dress up as a homeless person, but like an old-fashioned one, like a lad who'd be on the railway, not
Yes.
not like a lad you'd see outside of Tesco.
A hobo, per se.
A hobo. Yeah.
Is that what they would call them in films and things?
And you'd go around singing songs and people would give you money.
Right, yeah.
But it's kind of descended into caroling now.
Yeah, which is annoying.
Fucking
I
annoys
don't
the
want
shit out of me.
that at my door.
No, I put a
at
sign
Christmas.
outside our house saying like rules,
No carols.
no Santy hats,
Carol O'Reilly and
no
Heartbreak.
no carols. And yeah, I think I came across as a bit of a fucking curmudgeon.
Yeah, I do. When I am out for walks and I see houses with the like no junk mail, including, and they've listed out everything, I'm like, it reminds me of remember you were talking about that DJ with the list of songs he wouldn't play, and
Yeah.
I'm like, will you come on now?
You seem like hard work, bud.
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't want to be going to your door anyway. by the sounds of it.
I hate. They always play. What's your most hated Christmas song?
Yeah, most hated Christmas song. I don't know if I could come up with an answer there because I really get into it. I love it. I love all the songs because I'm such a fucking hopeless romantic who is absolutely outdated of like just songs about driving home for Christmas.
Driving home for Christmas.
I do. I remember some guy once said before about it's nice to picture that in the idea that he's driving home and going to go on a mass shooting spree in this like gorgeously happy song. Can't wait to see them.
Gonna track down everyone who bullied me.
Yeah, and it's just a really happy song, and anytime I hear that, it has it in a new frame.
Stocking
now
up on weapons.
But,
I got a dirty bomb in a jar of mayonnaise filled with nails.
very creative. I love Christmas films, like as in The Holiday, or I love. But I am, I'm definitely just an absolute loser who is still clinging on to that idea that that's what romance is really like. When I don't think it really is, Kevin.
No.
I don't think the movies portray it the way it actually is.
I was famously in a Christmas movie. Famously.
I
was famously.
Yes.
I was famously amongst my friends group.
Well, it nearly ruined you financially having to pay for a whiskey drink at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to see me briefly in a
where
Christmas
can-
movie, it's called Christmas at Castle Heart.
Now, they have a new section on Netflix called Hallmark and Christmas movies, and I went looking for it. It's not in
probably
there.
not on it.
What's
It's
it called
probably too
again?
popular.
Christmas at the Castle or
Christmas
something.
at Castle Heart.
And where is there a streaming service one could find that? Because I will watch it, Kevin. I'll sit down with the family this Christmas, and my mother will be delighted to be like, "There's Kevin." I'm like, "Yeah, there he is."
So it stars me, and then below me, it stars Stuart Townsend, who was almost going to be Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, and Lacey Chabert, who was one of the girls in Mean Girls.
We've got
Do you know who else was in it? John O'Lahan, who was the guard in Father Ted.
Oh
Remember,
my
this reminds
God.
me of Vietnam.
Yeah,
Yes, we had great chats about that.
incredible.
And Sean McGinley, of course. But where can you watch it? I'm not exactly sure. The Hallmark Channel,
Okay, if it's on the Hallmark.
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Amazon Prime.
There you go.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Right, I'm on it.
How much is
That'll
that?
be our Christmas film this year.
It's currently unavailable in your location.
Great. Well, maybe by Christmas they'll have sorted it out.
Apple TV. Is
It'll
that
be a
work?
Christmas wish.
It'll
and
be a
then-
fucking Christmas miracle if it works.
I'll definitely give that a go.
Yeah, that's definitely worth
report
checking
back.
out.
Yeah.
They always have the same plot. It's always like an American girl and her sister arrive in Ireland to find something, and they end up falling in love
It's 9 times out of
with
10
a
as
man
well
who has a castle.
that they're in such a busy world, working in the media or something crazy that they're like, I'm going to come to Ireland.
I work for Joe Daddy.
But that's the thing. They come to Ireland thinking it won't be anything like that here. And I'm like, we have media jobs.
We have media jobs.
We're stressed.
It's like, what do? I'm a sheep polisher. I polish sheep for the big show days, so I do.
I'm building a fence.
Yeah.
And I've been building it now 10 years. It might be done by the time I die, or I'll pass it on.
I'm a ditch leveler. I go around to make sure that all the ditches are at the same level.
It's a hard job.
It's a hard job.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the toy show.
Yes.
I do enjoy even when I didn't have kids. I enjoy watching the toy show.
Oh yeah, it's a great night for Irish Twitter as well. When that used to be a fun.
I had
activity.
friends who'd organise toy show parties.
Oh yeah.
And they would get out of their minds and watch the toy show. And it's probably the only.
It's the only way to do
real
it.
way,
Yeah. But like when I look back at it, if you had been a kid on the toy show, what kid would you have been on it?
I don't think I would have been the culty kid because I wasn't like big into tractors. See, what I don't like about culty representation in the Late Late Show, I feel it is. I feel like we're dancing to the tune of Dublin. I feel like we're wheeled out, almost like a sort of a novelty, and they put us in a flat cap and they make us dress like a Healy Ray, and then you sit in a tractor, and I feel like they're talked down to.
Totally. But you know what happens? The little child then outsmarts the presenter 9 times out of 10, and he comes across as the cutest hooer on the whole thing, and he wins the heart of the whole country, and rightly so, because we outsmart the way they thought they could play us. Kevin.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
I will say that, but I agree with you, and I do. We've had many discussions about this, of the betrayal of people from the country in media outside of where we're from.
When will we be accurately portrayed, Justine?
But all we have to do is
In
fight
my
our
lifetime?
corner.
Maybe
Kevin.
my children's lifetime.
What are you playing in the Hallmark movie? A fucking ditch leveler?
No, I'm playing the son of a lady.
Here we go. This is it.
So my mother, my lady.
Son of a lady.
The son of a lady. Well, it's not like a lord. It's like a female lord.
Okay.
So I'm a very fancy man.
There you go. Look at you.
Thank you.
There, look at leaps and bounds. The work you're doing for the country is...
Well, just for cultural representation as a whole.
You're doing great work.
There's always the inevitable annoying Billy Barry kids.
Yes.
Even as a child, I fucking hated them.
Totally. You're never watching it going, I wanted to be that kid.
No, but I think a part of you wanted to be on telly. I
wanted to be a performer, absolutely. And I was jealous of that.
And they were so fucking happy about themselves.
They were so good as well, I won't lie to you.
They were a talented bunch.
They were talented. I wouldn't have been on the book
raised on the boob
section.
of Twink.
Yeah.
Twink, every year, Twink has 46 ditties, and there would be 46 Hilary Barry kids suckling off them, getting her bastons.
Yeah.
And that's what made them strong.
That's what made them strong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been the book child. I know.
Oh, the book child.
The book child.
When
I
you
know
said
my
book
place.
child, I was like, what do you mean?
Talking about? What's he talking about? Yeah.
Like a buck and bronco. I'd never be a child in a buck and bronco.
I don't know. I wouldn't last.
You'd never be, really? I thought you were kind of a bit
I was
bookish
into
as a
books,
kid.
yeah, but I wouldn't have been the gold standard book kid. You know, I would have felt like the novelty kid there to be like, oh, we just need someone to fill the seat. You know, you'd have kids that would have a far better knowledge of books at the time.
Have you ever submitted a video to the Late Late Show?
I haven't. I came close, I won't lie to you.
What do you mean you came close to
I
submitting a
thought
video?
about it. I thought
Right,
about it.
okay.
But I never went through with it. Because
What were you doing?
I would have juggled.
The way
Yeah.
you said that.
Real proud.
You said that like an old lad at the bar. Just like, I would have juggled now. That would have been my contribution to the war. I know everyone did their little bit now. Some people weren't able to fight, so you'd end up cooking. Some people couldn't cook, so I juggled. I juggled during the emergency, we called it now.
Yeah. That's probably what I would have done. I mean, I always took myself as like, God, I'd love to be a singer. But
You were a very good presenter, even as a young age.
You saw my cookery show. You did.
I didn't want to bring it up again. But yeah,
but we've all seen it, and we all knew there was something there.
there was a spark.
We're still not quite sure what it was or
No.
what it is, but we'll figure it out. So I'm not really sure where I would have fit in that area. And then there's the kids that they bring on there, like back in the day, they used to bring in impressive celebrity guests. So if that had been me, it would have been Westlife. That would have been my big...
How would you have reacted?
I would have been...
Just frozen in fear.
Frozen in fear, yeah.
My favorite video, or it's a kind of a type, it's become a type now, is when you have an awkward little boy.
Mm-hmm.
The best one is Pat Kenny was hosting the Late Late Show. Awkward little boy playing a PlayStation 1, I'd say, and he's playing Lara Croft.
Oh, it's outstanding.
And playing Tomb Raider. And he was just, a normal little chubby faced boy. And then Pat Kenny goes, well, we've got a little surprise for you. And Pat sounded aroused immediately. He's like, Miss Lara Croft. And then this beautiful buxom model comes out dressed like Lara Croft, swinging her guns around the place. And all the daddies were loving it.
Yeah.
Daddies, very popular.
Standing ovation.
Like, Jesus, I must get one of these PlayStations here now, so I will. And the little kid, still continues to play for a bit more, and he just looks so awkward. It was like bringing a child to a strip club.
Oh, it was, and he wasn't. The other thing that gets me about that clip is that child had never voiced his love of Lara Croft or Croft as a person, or really into it.
No, and now
so he's confused as well.
He doesn't know how to feel.
No, he's very
It's
confused.
like, I like the game. I don't like the game because I'm attracted to the player.
Yes, no, entirely that.
It's not like a Justine and Crash Bandicoot situation.
No, that would have been.
Where if you were a young lassie and fucking Pat Kenny,
came out.
Mr. Crash Bandicoot, to seem like, oh, jeez, lad. Oh, you may lift me off this seat with a spatula. Oh, jeez, Pat, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, Pat. I'm not fit to stand. How are you, Crash? I'm a big fan now.
Oh, God.
No, he just looked so awkward, the poor old devil.
Yeah. And he's confused, and he's trying to be polite then because he doesn't want to be like, why? Just why? But then there's another one that is on that exact same level. I believe it's Girls Aloud. That come out.
Yes.
And he's equally like, what?
He nearly starts crying.
But
He just doesn't really know how to process these feelings are
entirely.
inside his body.
No, completely. It's a lot to put on a child.
Let me say, Lara Croft.
Imagine those who had been booked for that job.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like when you're an actor, you take any job.
But the Late Late as well would have been like,
Late
this
Late
is
is
a big
thing.
gig.
Yeah. You're mad to fucking get on the TV.
I'm not sure which kid you would have been if you were on the Late Late.
Not really sure myself.
Do you know who I felt sorry for? The kids who would just cycle around or come out because they don't get a moment. They just have to drive in and drive out again.
Cycle by on a little toy tractor.
You're in and you're out. Like,
yeah. I probably would have crashed into a cameraman.
You would have seen the few kids every year that try and like extend that moment, and I don't blame them. That's their time to shine, and they're like, I'm just gonna go into cruise control here.
I'm gonna really milk this situation.
Yeah, or they stop, and then they have to come and start pulling the car. Like, keep moving.
Some grip wearing an elf hat just like drags them off camera.
This show is part of HeadStuff Podcasts. Here's another show you might like.
Hi there, I'm Grace Alice. I'm a sex and intimacy educator, and I have a quick question for you. Have you found the G-Spot yet? The G-Spot is your go-to podcast for all things sex, intimacy, pleasure, relationships, dating, all that good stuff. And season 2 is out now. I tackle all kinds of dilemmas, from the sensitive to the spicy, with my amazing guests, including comedian Anna Clifford, activist Natasha O'Brien, cyber psychologist Dr. Nicola Fox-Hamilton, and plenty more. No topic is off limits, so listen now on headstuffpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray, holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Lovely stuff.
There's a thing with the Grinch. I don't know if you've seen this, where you can now hire the Grinch to come to your kid's party and he wrecks the place. But all you see is the complaints from people being like, he actually trashed the house. And I'm like, that's what you hired him to do.
Yeah, I've seen this video. So was it in a gaff or was it in like a community centre or something?
I think it's been both. I've seen one
where he fucking lands in and he's wired. And all these kids are tiny and they're screaming their whole off. He fucking heads in, goes over, grabs a tree, throws it at some outlet, and people are going mental. But yeah, you hire the Grinch. He's gonna Grinch.
That's what you knew. What you were signing. Grinch's gonna Grinch. You knew what you were signing up for.
You need to fucking hire Peppa Pig. If you're not ready for what the Grinch is cooking, don't order it off the menu.
What a fun job.
Being a big green hairy mad cunt.
But you've seen like there's like ones where they had like all the stuff laid out for the kids, like treats and buns. He just smashes everything into the floor, like cakes smeared into the ground.
The man famously does not like Christmas.
Yeah. I'm saying the parents here are in the wrong.
Of course they're in the wrong.
And you know what they're doing the next day? They're ringing up Santa to complain. And you're
ringing up Joe
like,
Duffy. The original Santa. Yeah.
And they're complaining and wanting, and you're like, again, look in the mirror for a minute here.
What does it say on his website?
I've never looked it up. It's a whole. I don't know if he has his.
It's not one Grinch. It's not one Grinch. It's several.
Like I think it's a company.
Okay.
There's probably a variety of people that do it now as well.
I'd be up for that.
Do you know what I was on a job there acting where I had to shoot a load of people with water guns, and it was a very cold day, and I really felt bad about it. You know, it didn't sit well with me. And
what were they wearing, Justine?
They were wearing all their clothes, but it was a cold day, and I just felt for them.
Was it t-shirts or what are we talking about?
They had jumpers on them, but then we needed to they had to have a shot where they were getting it on their face and stuff. And again, it's all innocent things I'm describing, Kevin. But I felt so. My conscience is quite strong. I felt so guilty about it. Now, they were loving it and they were like, oh, class. But
Give me more.
But I was just, it didn't sit right with me. I don't think I'd take to that job very easily.
Yeah.
And there was other people there in the day that were like,
it's quite a specific job.
It is. But I don't think being the Grinch would suit me. Like, or doing something where you have to cause what you know will be hassle for people.
Yeah.
Now, there actually could be good money if you were a Grinch disposal team.
I thought you were going to say like a Grinch apologist.
A Grinch apologist too, but like the Grinch after party team that come in and clean it all up. There's money in that.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
What is the worst present you ever got for Christmas? From a boyfriend or a parent or Santi?
I think it would have been growing up, relatives would have assumed, because I am a girl, I would love a little Barbie. And actually nothing upset me
You're
more.
26 at this stage.
Yeah. And I never liked them as a kid, so I was like, why do you think I would like them now? I know the movie and everything was impactful, but it didn't.
Famously, I'm sensitive about my body shape.
Yes. So, and like, all I ever did, I got 2 in my life, and one I ran over with the lawnmower. And then, that was a great day, in fairness. She had a big pink strawberry dress on her, and she came with a scented thing about strawberries. So we ran that over the lawnmower.
Tell me, what did the lawnmower do to the little Barbie?
Well, there wasn't much Barbie left after.
Just made bits of it, did it?
Made bits of it. And
it was almost like a farm safety video, I imagine.
It was, to be honest. And then the other one, I melted her triangle titties over a lamp. Oh my God. Because I was upset by the boobies she had.
The pointiness of them.
I was jealous, Kevin.
You're jealous, but they're an unattainable shape of boob.
That was my kind of
it's very
protest.
50s housewife kind of.
That was my 8-year-old protest to this portrayal of women.
Yeah,
by the
you were
media.
a feminist very early.
I was. Now these...
You weren't only burning your own bra, you were burning tiny little Barbie bras.
Now
Barbie tits.
My protests were very small scale in that no one was really aware I was doing them.
That doesn't matter, Justine.
But they were personal protests.
Yeah. So you burned her boobs with what?
A lamp. And then my mother, you melted over it for long enough, and the plastic wasn't great quality. They were gone in no time. But then my mother, still famously, me and my brother quote this, there was an awful smell in the room after, and my mother came in and smelled it, and her instant, and I don't know where, this is where her head went, but she was like, Justine, did you pee in a box and put it under your bed? Now, I don't know why that's where her head went instantly, that was a thing I would do. But then she was probably just as shocked when my response was, actually, no, ma'am, I'm after burning Barbie there over a lamp.
I'm not sure which is more normal, to be honest.
Totally.
But Justine, did you pee in a box and keep it in your room? No, I burned fake tits over a lamp. Oh, that's grand.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly have nothing to worry about with you, young lady. I'm sure you're going to grow up completely normal.
You'll be just fine. What was the worst present you ever got?
I remember a friend of my family's were visiting us and they got me a pair of Pokemon pajamas.
Hey, that's great.
But I was 14.
Oh, you're a Digimon fan at that stage.
That's into Ben 10.
Yeah, Ben 10.
And then I had to act like, because 14 is the worst age.
Oh, I know, something in between.
And I was like, oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And her husband was like, her husband's like, they're too babyish for him. He's 14 years old. He's got hair on his balls, like. And she was like, sure, look, they make them for 14-year-olds. They hardly make them for 14-year-olds if they weren't suitable for it. And I was like, no, they're fine, they're fine. And I did not want to wear.
Did you get the lawnmower?
I didn't think of that. I think eventually my dad cleaned up an oil spill underneath the tractor.
Right. That's where a lot of pajamas over the years went for us. They became dusters.
It's perfect for cleaning up oil.
Yeah.
Best present. What was your best present?
Oh, Lord. That's a great question. I don't know if there's actually a standout one in my head.
Have you ever given a terrible present to somebody?
No, I'd be the opposite.
Would you?
I'd try to think really I
remember giving my first girlfriend a huge framed picture of a nebula.
Okay. And can you just explain and talk me through the process there?
I think it was from the Hubble telescope.
Okay.
They'd taken
was she into the stars?
Not really.
Cool. Love that for her.
I think though when you're buying presents for your first love, you kind of panic and you end up buying loads of shit.
Okay.
And instead of buying thinking hard and buying a good present, you buy 6 shite presents.
See, I do the shy presents and then I do the good present as well. So they get they get misled along the trail. But I remember one of the first ones I got was I asked everyone and his friends and family to describe him in one word. And then I made it into this art piece from a Man United crest because he liked that football team and then got framed. So you have this picture of this football team you love, and it's made up of all words like kind, legend,
I've seen
that kind of thing. Yeah. So I would go that level, and then I remember keeping another ex. I kept every ticket we had all year for like cinema, travel, anything.
God,
and
you're a hopeless romantic.
I'm a fucking loser, Kevin. I really am. And then I got all that, made it into an image, and then I got it printed onto a big pillow, and it's like a furry, cool material pillow. Yeah, no,
wow.
Yeah. I know, Kevin. I know. And like, here's the thing.
Such a thing is too much thought.
Here's the thing that's tricky. Because if a guy did that to me, I'd be a little... No. I'd be a bit like, this is a little much, I think. But equally then when a guy doesn't really get it and that's personal to me, I'm like, man, you could have put in a little bit of effort. There's a middle ground somewhere.
Yeah.
But when it comes to presents, I like to go sentimental on it and say like, oh, this is because you mentioned that thing, blah, blah, blah.
I remember in college we had Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And one of the lads in the college who was not really much of a talker and not really, kind of gruff guy, he had got one of the girls, Sarah, and we're all giving out a presents, and they're all like small. You had to spend like a tenner or something, like maybe even a $5.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave her this envelope, and it was like, I have bought a goat in Africa in your name.
Yes.
And she was like, that's kind of an amazing present. And he was like, it's no big deal. And then we were like, God, you know, like that guy was like, you know, we kind of had written him off as like, you know, kind of a bit of a bollocks. He's actually, that's a really nice thing to do. And then we were like, €5? Like, did you, like, it was only €5. And he was like, oh no, it was, maybe it was a bit more than that. And then we were looking up and it was like, it's fucking like €50 to buy a goat in Africa. And then it turns out he just written it out and printed it out. It's like, look, I just like those, there's no goat.
See, and I think maybe because we did that for a teacher once, we actually did buy the goat, but that was part of his like...
You sent your teacher to Africa?
Yeah, to buy the goat and bring it back. But I think it was because we did Secret Santa in school, and 3 years like in a row, basically, the person who got me just forgot and never got me a thing.
Oh God!
So I think maybe there's some deep rooted shit.
Are so sad.
So I think then I try and go the other way, and I'm always like trying to be. And
I've made a jumper out of the hair that I've been cutting off your head every day for the last year.
This is like people like recently there was someone that was like, I had this favorite T-shirt and I lost.
I tracked down your estranged dad. Here he is. Happy Christmas.
And I bought my goat. You know, stuff like someone like lost this cool thing they always had it, and then they're like, they don't sell them anymore, and it was like I sourced and found someone in New Zealand selling it. It was a musical thing, instrument piece.
Too much work, Justine.
I know, and then
you're too good.
Yeah, and then do you know what? It arrived after we'd fucking ended. Still gave it to him.
Now you have to find a lad who's into that weird thing.
No, I still gave it to him. I was like, fuck, I don't care. What? It's just gonna piss me off looking at the fucking thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a middle ground though. There's definitely going too far, and maybe I go too far, and then I push people away, Kevin. But then I am watching all these romantic films, and that's what you're meant to do, and I love that shit.
Poisoned your mind.
I'm fucked, yeah, but I love it.
Lovely stuff.
We got some questions here from some listeners.
Yes, we do indeed.
So we're going to try and answer them. Then we're going to wrap this up like a lovely present at Christmas time.
Oh, beautiful.
So, question number 1. What is more lovely, the smell of firelighters or the smell of petrol?
That is a category specifically that both of those, I'd put them nearly into the same category.
I think...
Mix those two smells together.
I think are firelighters not like soaked in petrol anyway?
That there has to be.
Plus, I'm kind of worried about this person. I mean, if you really like both of those smells, you're probably addicted to smelling those smells.
I'd say he's burned Barbies before.
I'd say he's burnt part of his brain smelling.
Yeah.
I'd say this sounds like the type of lad who... Is it a lad?
Yes, it is.
This sounds like a type of lad who snorted links in school through a towel or a jumper.
Yeah. Started on Pritt sticks.
I mean, I think firelighters is more of a subtle smell.
Yeah.
Petrol is too concentrated.
Okay.
I think if you took a big whiff of petrol, you'd be far too dizzy.
Okay.
But firelighters, it's just more of a subtle scent.
I think it's what I associate those smells with. So with firelighters, for me, it's like class, going to put on a fire, they're going to be lovely and toasty. But with petrol, it's actually reminds me of my granddad and like really wholesome memories, because he used to have a filling station and like help them out in the garage in the summers. And I used to always pull up at the house and you'd get the smell and you'd come out and be like, oh, class. So I'd have to go petrol.
Oh, that's a lovely memory, actually.
See, I'm a sentimental loser, Kevin.
You're sentimental.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite nice. So firelighters. I remember once as a kid coming home and I think it was a Saturday, the A-Team was going to be on. Stuck on the A-Team, lit the fire, and I had Nike Air runners that had the air bubble. So I stuck my feet up in front of the fire.
Fuck.
And then my feet exploded. The air inside my feet were nearly practically in the fire, and the air bubble inside the runners just burst and ruined me runners.
Fucking hell! And did it lift you at all?
No, like I had my feet up, I was sitting back.
But it didn't. Like there wasn't like even a little jolt, or
no,
you didn't even notice the bubble.
No.
Fucking hell!
Question number 2: showering daily. How many is too many?
God, we are really getting in depth.
We have pretty intelligent listeners.
We do. I honestly, there's a thing, and I believe it, of like if you shower too much, you kind of actually wash away a lot of the essential oils, both in your hair and on your skin.
Very true.
If you're too clean, it's actually a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not good to be too clean.
I think with having long hair, it's very difficult to go undetected that you haven't cleaned, because you just get greasy hair and it's awful. It does make me want to shave my head often, and I had to wear a bald cap recently for a thing, and I fucking really liked it, and I was shocked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sinead O'Connor style.
It was I was really into it, but it's deceiving because I know if I actually did shave my head, it would not look good, so I'm not going to do that. But
so how many is too many? I mean, like,
never shower more than once a day.
No, like if you've showered twice a day, you've had an accident of some kind. There's been an incident. There's something that's gone wrong.
Something's triggered this second shower. Yeah. If you're just doing that because you're somebody who washes yourself first thing in the morning, last thing at night,
it's mental.
I wouldn't be into that.
No. You're dead right.
In this economy.
You need to keep them oils on your lovely body.
You do.
I'm spending Christmas with my boyfriend. His parents won't let us sleep in the same bed over Christmas. Do you have any advice? Have you been in that situation?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, no, they've never come to spend time for Christmas, but my family are very much that it's their house and their rules. And I respect that. I obviously didn't as a teenager. I was very like, okay, but I mean, look, it would be ideal if I was seeing a fella now that he could stay in the same bed as me, but I know I'm going to not win that.
You could hire somebody.
Argument. Hire the Grinch to come in and
Manny Daddy, I'm sleeping with the Grinch over Christmas, okay? He's going to fucking wreck the place on Christmas morning.
All that has to happen is, no, I bring the fella, but I hired the Grinch to wreck the kitchen. So Mom is, she's distracted.
And distraught.
She's no time for that. I don't know how I would advise this, because it's a conversation I've had, because, friends of mine would have had their partners over and allowed to sleep in the same room. But then I have friends who equally are not allowed. And I'm talking about people in their late 20s, 30s here as well.
I mean, in previous, as a younger man, where we weren't allowed to share a bed in her parents' house.
Yeah.
I'd go to bed night, everybody, and then you'd sneak in, and then just sneak out like a child going down for a midnight snack.
It was the actual doing the action there that was
like a little child sneaking down to get a look at his presents. That was Justine making it that
it was.
So you can always do that, sneak in and out. It depends where your parents' bedroom
is in relation to yours. Now,
and does your mommy go to bed early? Does she go to bed late?
It's interesting because it's definitely still a very common thing. Like, I think Ireland has become, I don't know why I'm generalising here, but I think as such a Catholic influenced country for so long, some of that still runs deep.
Do you have to let it linger?
It runs deep, and I think as a teenager I was quite like hormonal and trying to be rebellious. Also, I wasn't seeing fellas till I was very late 20s, really, or late teens rather. And in those days it would have been like, oh, they just don't understand, and you don't get me.
To be honest, it's probably just like, if you just don't want your kid having sex in your same
Totally,
house.
I get it. If I was a parent, I'd be like, I don't want to hear that.
No.
And also, if they're just there for one night now, as someone who's 30, I'm like, I couldn't be arsed putting up a fight for it. I'm like, sure, I'll ride you tomorrow when we're back in Dublin.
Do you know what? I'll ride you in Dublin. Sounds good. Would you rather do stand-up or podcasts for 24 hours? So would you rather do stand-up or do a podcast for 24 hours straight, I assume?
Oh, I'd say podcast because you can sit down.
Way easier.
Yeah.
Way fucking easier.
I don't know if you're also taking into account that there's an audience or not, because like you can do a live podcast where you have an audience.
Yeah.
That's obviously going to up the ante.
Like, is there toilet breaks? Are people going to the toilet in the audience?
Totally.
Like, I mean, are we wearing bags?
Yeah.
It could get very stinky after the first 12 hours.
That'd be a 2-shower-a-day job.
That's a reason why you'd be showering twice a day. It's like, I just did a
exactly.
24-hour podcast, man. I'm covered in feces. Biggest challenge to stand up since you started? Well, you can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything anymore. No, I don't really. That's a bogus thing. I think like, it must be very hard doing stand up nowadays.
Yeah.
You can't say anything. I think it's just the parameters change, and they always will change.
And they should change.
Should change. And it makes you a better stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was a lot of...
Hacky.
I think there was a lot of lads getting away with really lazy stand-up.
Yeah, punching down.
When you look back, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, completely.
So, no, I don't think it's harder.
No.
I think it's probably better.
Yeah, it kind of weeds out people that were just pure...
Bernard Manning jokes.
You know, that kind of genre. Yeah, totally. And also, I just find it so funny because you hear people as well saying like, so brave. You're so brave. And I'm like, a fucking doctor's brave. Me telling a few jokes on this. What are you talking about? Yeah. I find that mind blowing. Anytime I'm in a taxi.
Comedians have zero respect for doctors or firefighters.
But when you're in a taxi or like just talking to them, like, God, that's so brave what you do, going up on that stage and telling a joke. I'm like, really? Have you heard of heart surgery?
I'd find being a taxi driver brave.
Totally.
The idea of like bringing lads home from nightclubs, that's fucking insane.
People
I'd never do that.
in rush hour traffic, and they just blame you for the traffic, everything.
And for taxi drivers, for a lot of them, you're the last person that single man will speak to before he goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Like his entire day and his entire night, the frustrations he's had are going to be unloaded onto you.
Yeah.
He could have asked a girl to dance or something, or for her number, she turned him down. And then suddenly somebody cuts the line in the chipper and he's ready to kill somebody. He's going to take it out in the taxi, man. Yeah, taxi drivers, I salute you. You're very brave.
Very brave. Braver than comedians.
I don't know how you do it.
Don't know how you do it.
That's all the questions, Justine, we have, isn't it?
Well, isn't that lovely now?
Thanks very much. We'll probably give you some more time next time.
Yeah.
To come up with more. But if you have any more questions, send them on.
Send them on. And thank you for all the feedback as ever.
Yes, indeed. And I hope you enjoy the toy show.
Yeah.
Whenever that comes out.
And Christmas shopping.
Oh yeah, going up to Guineas.
Yeah.
To buy the jeans for Christmas. My Christmas jeans and Guineas.
Yeah.
Folks, you've been lovely. This has been the lovely show. We'll talk to you again soon.
Good luck.
Slán.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.